What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. That's really all I have to say. At this point, on Saturdays, y'all should just get used to seeing me like this. I actually had all intents and purposes of getting up and being proactive and getting a lot of stuff done, but I don't know if you guys can see in my background, which is also why I'm talking so quiet, also why my background looks so messy, is because I have my nieces this weekend, and my one niece is taking a nap literally right there behind me, and Lord forbid she wake up. So, needless to say, when kids are involved, plans can go astray. But anyway, it's Saturday. I feel blessed. I don't know, I feel just very happy and relaxed and rested. So I'm super excited to share today's goal today because I just love this goal. And I actually just watched a video or a clip of, let's just get into it so I don't, give it away. As always, God is blessing us. He's always going to be blessing us. The goal for today is to be submissive, okay? Be submissive. And I just saw a clip. I didn't watch the whole video, but I recently saw a clip of how Nick Cannon doesn't, like, of his viewpoints towards towards submissiveness in a marriage or in a relationship. And he was completely against it because he was like, well, why does the woman always have to submit to the man? Like, why can't we be equal and, both be submissive to God and yada, yada, yada. But I don't know. I feel like with that definition or how he explained that, I don't think that he understood, or a lot of people really understand what it truly means to submit to someone else, especially women to men, like what it means to be submissive. Because in being submissive, okay, let me just give you the definition, and then I'm gonna go into my into my little rant. But to be submissive means that you are ready or you are willing to yield to the authority of someone else, or you are just unresistingly obedient, or humbly obedient. So you're obeying someone without resisting, or you're willing to obey or willing to yield to the authority of someone else without being resistant, and also being humble in doing so. So with that being said, women, I'm gonna talk to my women first, and then I'm gonna talk to my men. Women, when you are in a relationship, to be submissive, first of all, when you're in a relationship that's heading towards marriage, or that you guys are both aware that marriage is the next step and you are actively working towards marriage, because I don't necessarily believe that I should be 100% submissive to someone who has no intentions on marrying me, because for what? So when you guys are making that step, or on the road to making that step, to be submissive does not mean that you are just giving away your own self. It doesn't mean that you are not being an individual person with opinions and thoughts and morals and values and their own purpose and their own goals and their own mission. No, that doesn't mean that. It means that you realize that in a relationship, the male has some sort of authority over the household, over the relationship. And this is not saying that he is a dictator, because I think one of our goals was to be, or if it wasn't, I know we've talked about having authority in different aspects. And just because you have authority over something or over someone doesn't mean that you are ruling them in a dictatorship. It just means that in the situation, you are like the authority figure. So you're making decisions, you are people are looking to you for direction in certain areas. And that again, that's not to say that the woman will not make decisions, or the woman will not be looked to for direction. It just means that when you are submitting to your husband, you're doing so because you are willing to follow and yield to his direction, and you are willing and humbly and not resisting in yielding yourself to that male. I feel like a lot of women nowadays, I don't know if it's like the movement or whatever, are just like, oh, I'm not gonna submit to no man, ain't no man gonna come over me. But that, I think that people are just seriously looking at it the wrong way. So it's okay to submit to your husbands, women, to your husband. Now, if you're just in a relationship, just dating out here, there's honestly no reason to submit to them. Again, that's not saying you need to be combative, but you don't need to be submissive, 100%. But if you're in a marriage, you need to submit to your husband. Males, they're also even though the women are submitting to you, there's still a form of submissiveness that you can have towards her, and that also you need to have towards God, because it's supposed to be like the woman submitting to the man, both of you guys also submitting to God. So in understanding that, it means that yes, you may be authority figure in your marriage, in your household, in your family, but that again does not mean that you are creating some sort of dictatorship in your house, and that you're not allowing your wife or your fiance or your girlfriend or the mother of your children, whoever, to make some decisions or to follow her own goals or to follow her own successes or anything like that. So anywho, the basis of being submissive is realizing that in a relationship, I should be willing to yield to the authority figure. And I know it's highly focused on in marriages and in relationships, but there's also a level of submissiveness that you need to be to your parents, that you need to be to your boss at work. And again, that's not saying that once you are submissive, it's like you're bowing down to them and like you're holding them up to a super high standard. No, but you realize the authority figure in that scenario or in that situation, in that environment, and you are willing to yield to them. You are willing to say, you know what? Their decisions on certain things have to be final. They just have to be. Why do I need to go back and forth all the time? Me being submissive is understanding the authority figure in that environment and being willing and humbly and not resisting to be obedient to that authority figure. And yeah, that's a lesson I think all of us need to learn. I'm learning every single day to be submissive, not necessarily to my boss, not to my parents, but to God. Like I feel like I understand that God is my authority figure, but I don't treat him like that always, because I try to take things into my own hands all the time. And it's like, oh no, I got this. I know you're God, but I'm Ashley and I could probably handle it better, is what I think. And then I get into situations where he's like, see, should have just submitted to me. So yes, that is the goal for today. This was a super long video, but I felt like I really needed to explain like being submissive and the role and the importance that it is for everyone. For couples, yes, but for everyone in general. If you are not the authority figure in an environment, there's a level of submissiveness that you need to have, and we need to try to gain for ourselves. And that's just going to allow us to be better people, better just better on our track to our goals and on our track to our successes, and in the lane and the purpose that God has called us to be in. So yes, that is the goal for today, is to be submissive. I hope everyone has a wonderful Saturday and a blessed Sunday, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Bye.